Champions Cup, round one, team of the week. Let me tell you, this is really hard because there's 12 matches, there's 24 teams, and there was such varied conditions that the teams were playing in. So, look, there's going to be players I miss. There's going to be players that you thought had a better game. It would be so boring if we all agreed. So please, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up as well. And I would love it if you would hit subscribe. Here we go then. As has been asked for on the channel, I listened to the comments. 1 to 23. I'm doing a full 23-man squad for this one. My team of the week begins with Munster's Dan Blula, who is a short-term loan signing from the Sharks, and he is exactly what Munster needed. Feels like an old-school loose-head prop, exactly what they needed, and he has had an immediate impact on this Munster team. Those Munster fans at Thomond Park will be hoping that he sticks around for longer than the few months that he's there. Brilliant. It just also goes to show the ridiculous depth at prop for not just the Sharks, but South Africa in general, because I'd not heard of this guy before we rocked up at Munster and put in a proper shift in that game against Stade Francais. He makes my team of the week. Tolu Latu for La Rochelle. This is one of those. So I've had to take into account the conditions that these players were playing in and factor that into my thinking. And when you think about the biblical rain and the wind that there was at the Rec in Bath on Friday night, and Tolu Latu did his job with his arrows, got on the score sheet himself, and La Rochelle's line-out was the key weapon that was the difference between the two teams, and he made that work. And yeah, in difficult conditions, had a really strong game. Good carries as well. Tight head prop, Elliot Miller-Mills. I was working at this game, and so I was there, and it was noticeable. You know, sometimes how the TV doesn't quite... the difference between watching a game on the telly and watching it in the ground. When I was stood there watching it at the ground, all I could just see was this fella just like whacking people constantly. He made 20 tackles and he was only on the pitch for like just under 60 minutes. Massive work rate, and the scrum for Northampton against a big Castra pack was really good. So he's made my team of the week. Elliot Miller-Mills for Northampton Saints. Maro Itoje. He is looking really, really good in an England jersey and in a Saracens jersey, leading the team, and a very, very good win against the Bulls. Really smart performance by the team as a whole, but that was typified by Maro Itoje, who absolutely annihilated. I talked about how important a weapon the line-out was for La Rochelle. It is for most teams. It is for the Bulls, but they couldn't get it going, partly because of this guy. Whether it was stealing line-outs in the air or whether it was sacking the attempted mauls. I'm not sure there's anyone better at sacking mauls than Maro Itoje. Tom Willis got the man of the match for Saracens. I thought Maro Itoje was the best player on the pitch, personally, and he makes my team of the week, as does Emmanuel Meafu. What's really cool about the Champions Cup is these big name players showing up in big games. It kind of gives you an indication of just how important this competition is, that these international stars that have been doing it for their country through the month of November are absolutely hungry and desperate to go out and perform in this competition. It still holds a very special place, especially for Toulouse. Emmanuel Meafu is a beast. Just the effort it takes, and it took for Ulster to tackle a 150-kilo monster, just to get into the deck and then get yourself back up and do it all over again, takes its toll. And it's one of the reasons why teams cannot contain Toulouse for 80 minutes, and the floodgates will at some point open. And when they did, I mean, Jack Willis is just playing out of his skin. So Jacques Willis, out of his skin. I said it on the video yesterday. I'll just say it one more time. Let me just get it out there. It pains me. Why would England not want this guy playing for them? He is the best open side flanker on the planet right now, in my opinion. Tell me if you disagree. It just pains me. Why would you not want your best players? Oh, anyway, he was absolutely brilliant. Deserved player of the match for Toulouse yesterday. And another international superstar who showed up in club colours, Sia Khaleesi for the Sharks. There were so many good performances in the back row. I have shifted Sia Khaleesi onto the flank. I know he did start at number 8, but there was a lot of competition in the back row. Josh van der Fleer was ace for Leinster, deserves a mention. Henry Pollock for Northampton Saints had another really strong game, showing how promising he is. I went for Sia Khaleesi, and I shunted him across the back row. 2 tries for him. all action. His carrying is brilliant. His work rate is off the charts, and work rate in massive humidity and heat as well. Gavin Coombs at number 8. As he got bigger, and probably tells you a little bit about Munster. 2 players in the pack for Munster, which has been a bit of an area of concern for Munster this season so far. But there's something about the Champions Cup and Thomond Park and this team, and they did the business. Gavin Coombs was immense. Huge performance from him. And I mentioned Tom Willis, how good he was for Saracens, and Gavin Coombs just nudges Tom Willis out of the match day starting lineup anyway. I'll get to the bench in a little bit, but into the back line right now, again, there will be players I've missed, no question. So let me know who they are in the comments down below, please. Into the back line. The most hotly contested shirt for the team of the week this week was scrum half. There were 4 man of the matches that were wearing 9. Maxime Lucu for Bordeaux, Nolan Le Garrec for Racing, Baptiste Saran for Toulon, and George Horn for Glasgow Warriors, and Antoine Dupont was pretty amazing as well for Toulouse. So many brilliant performances at scrum half. George Horn takes it with his hat-trick. Amazing support play. The lines he cuts, that second try was... I mean, if had Cheslin Colby or Antoine Dupont done it, we would be saying world-class, incredible, just shows what an unbelievable superstar they are. George Horn's second try was amazing. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, I have been saying for quite a long time, I don't understand why George Horn is not getting more time in a Scotland jersey. Performances like that, Gregor Townsend can't keep ignoring him, can he? George Horn was great. His halfback partner in my team of the week, Romain Ntamack. So good to see him back. He's had an injury-blighted period of time. The Dupont-Ntamack halfback partnership is just... I mean, it's almost perfect. And I tell you what, Ntamack, you always think about Romain Ntamack as this sort of magical, sort of magician type 10. Oh, he'll do amazing steps and incredible bits of skill. And he can do that. He has got that in his locker, and a turn, a pace, and a step, and all the rest of it. But do you know what I was really impressed by with his performance? He just did the nuts and bolts brilliantly. Like penalty kicks out of hand, and he kicked to touch, and he managed to get it within 5 meters of the corner from miles out. Just like brilliant bits of fundamental fly half play. He did all the nuts and bolts, and he almost like in my mind, great 10s don't do it themselves. They make everyone around them look brilliant. And he made his back line look great, and he just kept the forwards in the right part of the pitch able to look good as well. So I thought it was a great performance. Great to see him back. And one of the people that he helped make look really good was Santiago Chocobares for Toulouse, who, I mean, he's just having an amazing season. He missed out on the November test window, unfortunately. I think had he played in those games for Argentina, some of those narrow defeats for Argentina might have turned into victories, and he might have ended up being in contention for a team of the year. He has had a brilliant year, and for club and for country. Back in Toulouse colours, he was ace. Back to Glasgow Warriors, though. Hugh Jones, proper player. That is a bun fight for the British and Irish Lions starting centre spots. It's a proper bum fight. You've got the 3 Irishmen, Aki, Henshaw, Ringrose, and then you've got Tuipulotu and Hugh Jones. At the minute, I don't know, it's tough. Gary Ringrose and Hugh Jones, they're both going to be on the British and Irish Lions tour, and they are battling it out. Hugh Jones is having a great year. Into the back 3 then. And Abrahams of Munster. He's had a sort of patchy start to his Munster career. Should have put an S on the end of his name. Apologies. But 2 tries in 2 games. And he, along with Gavin Coombs, the 2 best players on the pitch. His finishing was absolutely brilliant. It's so steppy. Another South African winger who wears a scrum cap and has incredible footwork. They just grow them on trees. And again, another brilliant scrum cap wearing diminutive winger was playing for Toulon, and Gavin Villiers was immense. So good. That shot, and I hope Marnie Lebock is okay from the illegal tackle that he took, which left him with hospitalised. But the legal tackle that Gavin Villiers put in on on Marnie Lebock before that. Completely legal tackle, huge hit, which just ended Lebock. Ball went spilled out. Saran kicks through and scores the try, a decisive moment in the match. Gabin Villiers, that and brilliant finishing. He's playing fantastically well for France as well. He's in a rich vein of form once again after a couple of years, a little bit in the wilderness. And again, to complete a back three of rapid scrum cap wearing players, Louis Bielbiere, who might be the form winger in the world right now. His November was insane. What was it? Was it 4 tries in 3 matches or 5 tries in 4 matches? I can't remember. It was lots of tries, and he's continuing for Bordeaux. He has ridiculous wheels. So that is my 15 then. I'll show you the whole matchday squad in a minute. But as for the bench, I went for Curtis Langdon. Really good performance at hooker for Northampton Saints. And with Theo Dan's stock dropping, he must be on the radar for England. I mean, I think his opportunity for England is overdue. He's been playing brilliantly for a couple of years now, and he continued that at the weekend. James Cronin for Leicester. Yes, they got beaten handily by Bordeaux. That first half performance was brilliant. The scrum for Leicester was really good, and he was up against Ben Tamafuna and, well, had him on toast, to be honest. Xander Fagerson again, work rate, scrummaging, carrying, offloads. This guy has got the lot, and he's having a brilliant year. Second row, Patheliato, the old man at Clermont Auvergne, absolute beast of a player, playing in the second row in this game. 2 tries to his name, hard carries. He was great. Tom Willis makes it into the back row. He was man of the match in the game. Both Willises in my 23, and both of them should be in the England squad, and neither of them are. And come on. Sorry, it just annoys me. Anyway, let me move on. Maxime Lucu was outstanding for Bordeaux. Again, Nolan Le Garrett was brilliant. Antoine Dupont was great. And on another day, all of those players could have been in the team of the week. But there was just so many good scrum half performances. Sam Prendergast for Leinster showed just how good he is. That second half, he just took control. Horrible first half, partly due to officiating, just a messy game. Sam Prendergast rolled his sleeves up and went, right, I'll do this myself, and just took control of the match. 2 tries, and then putting Geordie Barrett through for his as well. He has shown in this last month what a special talent he is. And the fact that Kieran Frawley, who was everyone, only a few months ago, everyone was saying he's going to be the 10 for Leinster and it's going to be Crowley v Frawley. Frawley got taken off. Prendergast stayed on, played, and dominated. The heir to Johnny Sexton, as Leinster fans have been saying for a while. And to complete the 23, Apolele Fassi, whose footwork is outrageous. His speed is electrifying. And in a completely bonkers, brutal, nuts rugby match, he showed some serious moments of class that would mean I would have him involved in the squad every day. And there you go. There is your team. There are so 1 player for La Rochelle, 1 for Leinster, 1 for Clermont, 1 for Toulon, 1 for Leicester, 2 for Bordeaux, 2 for Saracens, 2 for Sharks, 2 for Saints, 3 for Glasgow, 3 for Munster, 4 for Toulouse. Lots of other contenders, though. It was hotly contested. And like I say, you'll very unlikely agree with all of those, or you'll think another player slightly edged it. 12 matches is a lot of rugby to see. My brain is slightly fried after watching it, but I loved it, and I can't wait for it all to come back round again in round 2. By the way, 8 players from the top 14 in that 23-man squad, 9 players from the URC, and 5 from the Premiership, which is a little bit different, but broadly along the lines of, well, there were 6 wins for the top 14 in the opening round, 4 for the URC, and 2 for the Premiership teams. And I think that gives you probably an indication of where the power of these leagues are. The top 14 it has got the best teams overall. URC not far behind, and on its day can be better. Premiership struggling a bit, isn't it? Although I think when you consider the salary caps that the English clubs are operating under, and many of them are not spending anywhere near up to the salary cap, I actually think the English teams are doing well given the relative power that they have in terms of money that they can spend. I actually think the English teams are very well coached, but there are clear issues because they're not able to attract the quality of player that other teams have. Loved it. Loved round 1 of the Champions Cup. Looking forward to round 2 already. I've also got more content. Just if you're still watching, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hit subscribe on that channel. Give the video a thumbs up and leave your comment. But also, there's lots of end of year international stuff coming. I'm going to start going through A to Z, all of the top 12 teams in the world, and just give like an end of year report on how they've got on. And I have my player power rankings coming, where I rank every position in the world, top 10 players, who's moving up the list, who's moving down the list, who's moving out the list, who's coming onto the list. All of that will be revealed very soon. So keep checking in.